All right, Israel, shalom, shalom. Pastor Corey here, heading out in the morning. Already been to the gym and put the work in this morning with a client, and just blessed and looking forward to getting to some prayer today. And but I want to come on, man, and just talk to the degree of understanding how my experience with Straitway has been in seeing that many leave Straitway offended, and they leave Straitway offended to their own accord. And you know, I was talking to PastorDowell the other day, and I told him, I said, hey Pastor, I'm gonna do this video because there are a lot of things people don't understand pertaining to what it is to be a righteous man, and what it is to do what the word says in correction, rebuke, reproofing, and giving instructions in righteousness. People don't understand what that is. And so, you know, I know that's what I saw with PastorDowell, and he said something really key pertaining to, you know, if you just wait about 5 years after people who are offended leave, you'll see what shall become, you know, of those people, and what result we would be able to see. And I know I see it true myself, because I've seen people leave here offended. I've seen people whom we have fellowship with, you know, in the times past, who have come back to me and repented for what you had accused me of, and saying that I was wrong for, I was wicked. So on a greater scale, seeing that PastorDowell has almost 25 years or so at Straitway on the land, he's quite naturally have seen things. Now, this is what I want to say first as we approach this video. One, know that in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, that Apostle Saul was talking, you know, about knowing a person and what manner in which you should know a person. And so when he was talking about, you know, knowing Christ, and he was talking about, you know, the manner in which they knew Christ first. They said at first they knew Christ after the flesh, but going forth, they now know Christ no more according to the flesh. So therefore, know no man according to the flesh. Now, for all you all who are haters of the Brit Hadashah, or the New Testament, that is just perfect application when you get a chance to put a passage like that into play and see it come to life. And I'll tell you what I mean. When I went to Straitway, I met PastorDowell for myself. Not like a lot of people who lie and say I've been to Straitway and PastorDowell is full of crap. That man is wicked and he has an evil spirit on him, and whatever bull crap that Satan is able to plant in your mind. That is a lie, and if it ain't a lie like I know no other, that's a lie. And so when I look at what I've seen myself, I didn't go down there to you know, ride on PastorDowell, or, you know, be ruled over by another man, to, you know, be a crony, or whatever people think when men go down there to see PastorDowell. See, you gotta understand. Here's my nephew right here. All right, he came up from Arizona. All right, and he's had his own experience down here with the Saints here at Straitway, Kansas City. Now, the camera's not on me for a second, because I'm going to ask him a few questions. Now, when you came up from Arizona, did I bash you with Hebrew Israelite?
No.
Not at all. All right. Matter of fact, you had been here for a week before me and you even talked anything about the faith, right? But coming, you had your own experience, and you had a spiritual experience first, right?
Yes, sir.
So what are some of the things you have experienced here with the congregation of Straitway, Kansas City, and you not knowing anything about Hebrew Israelite? What are some of your experiences?
Like, I experienced that that Yah is real, because at first I didn't believe in him. I didn't want to I didn't want to have no part in him, because I didn't really think he was really there. And then I had a spiritual awakening, a revelation, as you call it, rebirth. It just opened my eyes to a whole new story. And then I seen pieces being put together as I read through the Bible, which you showed me. You showed me, if I remember correctly, don't judge if I get this wrong, but I think it was Exodus chapter 9. Huh?
Second Esdras.
Second Esdras chapter 9. I read that whole chapter. Blew my mind. It just made sense. It just made sense. So that's.
And not only that, but you had a visitation by the Spirit of the Father. And all of that happened here. Before you came here, had you had any of that? None. So, now, with that being said, saints, I'm back. And looking at what he said, that's the same thing I had when I went to Straitway and I visited PastorDowell. I had a spiritual experience. I remember being in the floor. And, Sister Gabby and I, we went, we prayed. And I mean, just the Spirit, the glory came down. Brother Chris and Sister Jalan had visited Straitway first. And he told us, hey, brother, man, you ain't going to believe the experience. So I didn't go down expecting to get the experience he received. I wanted to go down and see for myself. And I went critical. And because my wife and I, we have been a part of a few different church experiences, all right? I wasn't going to do no more. This was a time in my life where Yah was calling me and changing me, because my nephew can tell you how me and his uncles grew up in St. Louis. I don't talk, this ain't nothing I talk about. This is real deal. It's real deal. So you talking about getting into it, having fights, knocking folks in their mouth, getting shot at, a lot of things. I've seen those things. It ain't particularly that I was running around trying to murder or do it. It's just where I grew up, point blank. And so I didn't want to deal with people because I'm my own man. I didn't need PastorDowell to tell me how to be a strong man. I've always been a warrior. When I played football, I would smack you in your mouth, point blank. Me and you head to head. I promise you, because I ain't never had that type of fear on me. So I saw a man, and I saw spiritual things take place. Now, let's put this in perspective. A lot of people, they disregard what I said in 2 Corinthians chapter 5 about knowing no man after the flesh. So if you come to know PastorDowell, come to know him after the Spirit, after the things he do. Because the flesh, hey, y'all already said that there is none that is good. All right? The flesh is wicked. And the heart is desperately wicked above all things. So live after the manner of the Spirit. So people who think that the New Testament is not real, well, guess what? It gives you accounts, passages on how when the Spirit came, how we should live according to the Spirit. And so with that, when you see people living according to the Spirit, according to what's written, and you see the manifestation of these things, then that's who you know from that point on. You know them according to the Spirit. Know no man after the flesh. You know, I don't want none of you all to know me how I was according to the flesh. I did many wicked things. Some of you all, you wouldn't be able to trust me. You wouldn't be able to trust in the things that I do now if I was living according to the flesh, because I didn't trust myself. But seeing a man who lived at the example of what's written, now I know I'm following what's in the book, because I see what's written and I see what's done before my eyes. And so that is a great testimony. And so that fast forward me to the recent coming back and repenting openly by Brother Mashai, you know, which I met the brother down there, you know, on maybe a few occasions when we went and visit. Me and this brother, we never had any issues. But I'm a man just like anybody else. And if, you know, people get drugged away or get caught up just like many people do, then guess what? We don't tell people to, you know, disown these people or, you know, cut these people out of your life just to say it. No, it's for protection. When people speak against the Messiah, they speak against PastorDowell, they speak against somebody who I've seen with my own eyes working the works of Elohim through Yahshua HaMashiach, then guess what? You speak against me, because I stand not as some group or some camp. No, you know, these people who are sent out or who go out grudgingly needs to be marked. Why? Because they spew out venom on people who do receive, because they have no discernment. And Brother Mashai said himself that, hey, guess what? He had received within him some things that had been said. And he received within him the venom that was being spit out. And so he had to step back and view and praise Yah that he was able to see and now receive truth in him and come back to pass it out. Not many will do that. Not many are truly men. See, and that's my whole point in speaking to. See, I've never, this is what I'm going to close with. I've never been bitten. Like I was telling PastorDowell, I've been here since I started. I've never, ever had a desire to leave Straitway, regardless of what I saw, regardless of what was put out, regardless of what I heard. Yah has already kept my mind stayed on the fact that no man after the flesh. I still see the hand, the works of Elohim being done by PastorDowell. And not only that, it ain't just because that, okay, well, he has spiritual gifts. And we know, because most of y'all, this is what you want to talk to and point out. That, well, Satan gives too. And not only that, there's going to be many who have cast out in Jesus' name. And he going to say, Lord, Lord, and depart from me. Man, you talk all of that mess, all that crap, but we all are striving. So most of all, you who have not met PastorDowell, you have not even been around him. I know PastorDowell strives. I know how hard it is to continue to try to work and strive and intercede for people around you who don't quite get it, who don't understand. And it is a load of a burden that lands on your shoulder in trying to keep the body uplifted in Yahshua. And so I want to encourage all of y'all, just like when I talk about my wife and I, when we came here, we've seen people. I've seen Rainey leave, and I've seen Sister Soldier. I've seen oh man, I mean just tons of folks. Some of these folks, you know, I can't even remember all the folks' names that left, you know. But guess what? When they left, you heard the stories. You know, I've had people on the outside come and ask me about Tatum. I had, you know, that Tatum spoke to somebody that he didn't even know that was my father-in-law, who's in the way, who is here in Kansas City, and he ended up telling his story. And when I talked to my father-in-law, now I said, my father-in-law know me. And so even with this thing here behind Sister Silky leaving, you going up and saying all this thing and having Hugh Turner come down here, man, hey, the Father has to really work with us, because I grew up in the street, man. I don't, you know, I try to leave people where they are so that I can continue in righteousness. And that's all I'm gonna say about it, because whoever these people are out here spitting, go find out for yourself, and keep in mind that the Spirit bears record of the fruit that those who are righteous bear. So don't get caught up in the foolishness, and don't let nobody draw you away from where righteousness is being done. Man, I encourage you today to go forth in the necessary things that shall lead you to salvation that you see, because there is a certain fruit that should be manifest among the body of Yahshua in today, no matter where you at. And if you don't see it, it's just like I told, you know, my sister, you know, that's up in Ohio. You know, she came down and spent time with us. We have her video on there, you know, and you know, she had a really great time, you know, being here. And you know, I encourage you all to see for yourself according to the fruit that's going to tell who these folks are, who are sheep and who are wolves. Hey, you all be blessed out there, man. I just wanted to come on and share, you know, a little word of wisdom and knowledge with you guys, so that you don't get caught up, man. Don't get caught up. People are going to leave ministries. People are going to get caught up. People are going to get bit by the viper. And so you have to be the judge. You got to sit still long enough so that the word of truth can always remain, if you had it in the first place. Hey, you all be blessed. I'm Pastor Corey of Straitway, Kansas City, of the Straitway Ministries. And I pray that your journey today, wherever you travel, whatever you're doing, be blessed and covered in the blood of Yahshua HaMashiach. Shalom, shalom.